Today's episode of King Talk is brought to you by One of 100, exclusive clientele, custom apparel. So on today's episode of King Talk, man, we have Coach Ford from Duncanville High School. He's the girls basketball coach, and they just won state, man. So this is huge, Wanted to get him on here and let him tell his story, talk about his team, talk about everything, man. How you doing today?
How you doing? I'm fine. Appreciate you for having me, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Man, it's an honor to be on here with you.
Right on, man. Thank you for being here. Man, state champs. Again, I want to say congratulations for that, man. That's huge. I know this is your first year coaching the girls there.
That is my first year coaching the girls. I came from the men's side.
Right on. So you've been coaching at Duncanville for how long?
I've been at Duncanville from 2013, 2014, so 10 years now.
Okay. Yes, sir. So you started out coaching young men. I know that your son also played a couple years back.
Yeah, CJ, he played for me, and I started out coaching him when he was 5, and I coached him all the way through when he graduated 2022. He up in northern Arizona now. He played basketball up there.
Awesome, man. That's beautiful, man. And so I guess we'll kind of stay on that for a second, man. I know that, man, I remember seeing you way back when he was playing Pee Wee football, and saw that you were active as a dad. I saw that you were active as a coach. I always respected that about you, man. And so that goes back even way back then. I thought he was going to be a football star, man. He was a great player.
We both did.
Yeah, man. So I noticed that he got in high school and he ended up choosing basketball, which is fine. That was his choice. But, and he also was a great player. But, man, what I always respected about the situation was that you were always there, man. So, I like to highlight the dads and the coaches and anybody that's working with these kids, man, and just doing it for real, you know what I mean? And like I said, I've been seeing you, man. We ain't always had a chance to talk about it every step of the way, but I've been around with my kids, and I've been seeing you around with your kids, and man, I got the ultimate respect for that. So you get him out, he's at Duncanville with you. How many years did he play on varsity there?
He played all 4 years. He was on varsity from the time he was a freshman, and they won 4 championships. So he never lost a playoff game in high school.
That's crazy, man. Oh, that's an amazing accomplishment. And so y'all win 4 state championships, which is awesome. And then you get to the point where he goes off to college. How were the next few years after that?
It was good, man. I feel like because I coached him from the time he was 5 until he was 18, it had ran its course from the standpoint of it. Man, I'm such a dominant personality. I needed him to go far away to become his own man. So he can be able to lead his son or his daughter or his family. And then when he come back and when I'm old and gray, he going to lead me. Because I think that's how I go. That's kind of how my daddy did it. He led for a while, and then now he turned to me and said, hey, man, you know what I'm saying, what we doing, what's the move for the family or whatever. So I needed him to go do that. You know what I'm saying? And as much as I miss him, but I need my son to go out in the world, become a man, and come back. You know what I'm saying? And talking to him throughout this time while he been in college the last couple years, everything I said, he echoes. It's like he a mini me. And when we be talking, man, it's crazy. Like when I'm listening to him talk. So he called me after every game. He called me at least once a week. He'll FaceTime me when he cooks something. He want to show me what he cooked. You know what I'm saying? So man, I'm proud of him, man, and shout out to him, and he doing what he got to do to get that degree and try his best to become a pro if he can.
Yes, sir. Man, and first of all, again, man, I can't say it enough, man. I got to dap you up.
Appreciate it.
Man, that's remarkable because I honestly will say I see a lot of dads right here in the Fort Worth area doing their thing, doing what they're supposed to do. The narrative is a lot of times that, deadbeat dads and this and that and all that. So I don't see a whole lot of that. I see a lot of brothers around me that's doing what they're supposed to do, that's doing an exceptional job of it, like yourself. Man, that's just another reason why I wanted to, have you on here and just kind of highlight that, man. But, so after he's gone, and then how do you end up becoming the girls' coach?
So I became the interim head coach for the boys last year after he graduated. And then I knew I had 30 interviews. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew the coach, he was gonna be back. So I had 30 interviews. So I was like, every game, I'm interviewing for a job. So when that happened at the end of the season last year around this time, man, I had applied for a couple jobs. A couple people reached out to me. Your alma mater, I went and interviewed at Crowley, and they was about to offer me the job, and they actually had offered me the job. And when I was going to go take the job, the superintendent and some high people in the district had called me and said, "Hey man, you better not leave us for no Crowley." So I was like, well, so what y'all want me to do? I'm done being the assistant. They said, well, we gonna open up this girl's job, man, and we want you to be the coach. So I interviewed for that, and they decided after the first interview was like, hey man, we value what you bring to the district. You've been here for 10 years. You did an excellent job as the interim head coach for the boys. We won a national championship for USA Today when I was the interim head coach. So man, I'm blessed that Duncanville value what I bring to the district. So they offered me the job, and that was a no-brainer for me because Duncanville Pantherettes, that's what the women are called, is one of the best high school jobs, boy or girl, in the country. We got 12 championships. We done been 25 plus times to state. We got 5 or 6 national championships, and you got Hall of Famers, Tamika Catchings, Duncanville Pantherette, USA, the WNBA World Champion, USA Gold Medalist, Ariel Atkins, you know what I'm saying, USA. She played for the Washington WNBA team, and now she coaches in Michigan. You got Empress Davenport, she a college coach. You got college coaches that were Pantherettes, the late great Tiffany Jackson, that played at University of Texas, Kenya Larkin Landers. Man, so it's a lineage of women, the coaches, legendary coaches. It came before me. I'm the first black man coach in the history of the program. So, man, I'm proud of that, and I want to make sure the people that believed in me, that I make them proud, and I want to make all the young ladies and the women that came before me that built everything that I'm benefiting from now proud.
Man, the best thing about everything that you just said, man, was the fact that Duncanville saw the value in you. They recognize the work that you put in. I think a lot of times, even us folks, regular folks on regular jobs, you go to work, you feel like you're working your behind off, you're doing your best, and all they do is beat you down or give you some more hours or, complain about it or something like that, man. I know for a fact, just from personal experience, that it's a beautiful thing. It's probably the most rewarding thing when somebody sees the work that you put in and sees the value in that, especially when you poured in so much, man. So salute to you for that as well, man. I know my boy Big Vic, right? Mm-hmm. Big Vic, his daughter, Chloe Mann.
Shout out to the Mann family. I've been knowing Vic probably since we was middle school. We played together for Coach Holly, the late great Coach Holly.
And he was a heck of an athlete too, right?
Yeah, Vic was the truth, man, growing up. Yeah. Football, basketball, track, all that, man. He played K-State.
Shout out Big Vic.
Shout out to my boy Vic.
So how was it working with Chloe?
Man, like I tell everybody, she like a niece, love her to death. And it was good for me because I'm coaching somebody that I actually love, like my own kids. So it was like coaching my son again, but now he is coordinated into a young lady. And man, she was great. Man, like I tell people all the time, man, she never missed a practice. She never missed a workout. When we ran sprints, she's always first. You know what I'm saying? She's the first one in the gym. Like she there before practice, already taped up. So most people come down and want to get taped up during practice time. Chloe gonna get there early, get taped and ready to go. And what we doing today, Ford? What we doing today? You know what I'm saying? And it's great attitude, never said anything back. I always took the coach, and I coached her harder than others just because I had that relationship with her, and I knew I could, and I wanted to get the best out of her. And I feel like we did that. And when I took the job, I told Vic, man, I said, I'm going to make sure your daughter get everything she deserves.
That's real. Man, having players like that make your job a lot easier, man.
For sure.
Because that's like, that's that real, true, authentic leadership. Whether she talk a lot or not, just her being such a great player and moving in that way, it make the other players come on with it, man. So I know that helped out a lot, man. Is it any other players that you would like to point out? Or I mean, obviously it's a team sport, so everybody.
Well, I had two seniors. My two seniors, they did the heavy lifting. Mariah Clayton was a senior, and from day one, she never missed a summer workout. She was going to work out at 5 in the morning, and then coming to Duncanville at 9. And man, coming to work out for me, we might be on the track, we might be on the sand pit, we might be in the stadium stairs, we might be doing circuit workout, Iron Woman stuff. We gonna be in the gym shooting, like so. And she bought in, and she ended up being her and Chloe both was first team all state, but she was offensive MVP of the district, one of probably the best district in the country for sure. I know in Texas, hands down, not even close. And she was a state MVP. So, man, those two young ladies really did a lot of the heavy lifting, and they set the tone. Because Mariah is more of a vocal leader, and Chloe is more of a watch me. You know what I'm saying? She lead by example. Mm-hmm. So, man, those two young ladies, the way they bought in really helped the team. And then I had a host of juniors. I only had two seniors. So, Jasmine Gibson, Tristan James, Kaylin Kemp, Layla Coleman. And then I had a couple freshmen that played. You know what I'm saying? One of them started, Samari CC Holman, man. Y'all remember that name. She going to be special. And then I got another young freshman. I call her Rook. Her name Asia Smith. So to have those two freshmen playing, learning, I feel good about their growth that we finna make in this spring, this summer. And they gonna be. I'm ready to unleash them next year.
Right on. Man, you know, I always like to acknowledge the work of it all. You know, obviously, just hearing you talk and seeing the results, y'all are putting in the work. I feel like a lot of time these days, people don't give the work of things enough credit. They see somebody on TV or on the news or whatever, and they think, "Oh man, I can just go out there and do that." Hey man, these folks been working. These folks been working since last season. They've been working, and that's what it takes to get in that type of position and go all the way, you know, win the state championship. I know Duncanville has a very rich tradition, man, in all sports, man. They've been kicking behind out there for a long time, man. Y'all got a real formula out there that's working, man. And so, you know, what would you say is your end goal as a coach? Like, where would you like to see yourself when it's all said and done?
Man,
like do you dream of like being an NBA coach or college or anything else like that, or you love touching the high school kids at this level and kind of shaping and molding them?
Man, I'm a person. I'm where my feet at. So right now, I want to be the best high school basketball coach I can be. In the event that things change or circumstances change, I'm always gonna be open. But if everything goes according to the way I'm thinking, and I probably got about another 10 years of coaching, because man, coaching is a young person sport, man.
Yeah.
And by that time, I probably want to transition to being an athletic director of some sort, still in athletics, hopefully still in Duncanville, and helping continue to build that legacy, not for just one sport, but all sports, because I coached football in Duncanville before. I coached soccer. I done track. So I coach boys and girls ball. And before I coached girls basketball, I actually coached girls soccer at the middle school. So, man, AD probably be my end goal. Yes, as far as if I stay in the interscholastic. If I go to college, you know what I'm saying. You know, you always want to test your skills and your prowess against the best of the best. So that's always something in the back of your mind. And if you can get to the WNBA or NBA or whatever the case that may be, that's always something that you got to look at if somebody offer that.
So I love that. But on another note, man, you being so involved with sports and you being such a great coach, but I would say a great coach, do you feel like the fact that you were an athlete as well, do you feel like that plays any role in that, or is it just your passion anyway?
It definitely had, because a lot of times the team takes on the characteristics of the coach. Like, I wasn't a 5-star. I wasn't a 4-star. Everything I had to work for. And so that was my mindset. You know what I'm saying? And I brought it into the coaching, where I don't want anything given. I'm not giving anything away because what nothing gave to me. So I had to go take what I wanted and carve out my own little lane. And So that's kind of what my mindset come in. I wasn't scoring 20 points a game. I probably averaged like 10 to 15 in high school. And I was more like, all right, at the time I played with like Brian Smith, Montreal Lewis, Marvin Gentry, Ronnie Sanders, Dedrick Sanders.
Yeah.
Man, we had a team. So it's like,
Over there at Pilot.
I'm trying to get on the court. So you know what? They can score better than me, but I'm gonna defend.
Yeah.
So that's why you see my teams, they defend the way they defend. And along the way, as I played, and once you get on the court, the more reps you get, the better I got on offense. Because you always working on offense. Nobody goes and practice on defense. You know what I'm saying? So you always work on your offense, and then by the time I became a senior, I can actually score the ball pretty good. That's how I ended up getting a scholarship to go on to Tarleton. So man, it's just one of those things, man. Like it definitely helped because I knew the work. You know what I'm saying? And you know the work to be a Division I athlete. And Tarleton was D2 at the time. You got to put the work in.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And then I ended up leaving there and going to Mary Horton Baylor, which was NAIA. Then they transitioned to D3. Man, it was good ball players there, just as good as I saw at Tarleton. So man, for these kids out here that's trying to get scholarships or trying to play at that next level, man, go where you can play. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what level it is because everybody don't get to go to college, even at D3 level, because you'll go and you'll see dudes that'll give you buckets. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, like, it's some high-level dudes. It's a lot of pros, either overseas and there's a few in the NBA that played it on every level. You know what I'm saying?
Obviously, I know the goal would be another state championship, right? Do you feel like that's a realistic deal for next year?
Well, my ultimate goal is to win a national championship. If we do that, that means we won state. I think every year you at a school like a Duncanville or along that caliber, every year is the goal to win a state championship because when you walk in the gym, we don't hang district banners. We don't hang regional banners. Only banners you see is either state championship or national championship.
That's deep.
State on one end, national championship on the other end. So for me, I don't want 2 national championships on the boys' side. It's only right that I'm chasing that number 1 spot on the girls' side, and I'm not going to rest. I'm going to turn over every stone. We're going to put everything in, blood, sweat, and tears until we get it. That's just the way I am, and that's the way I'm built. So that's the goal, to try to win a national championship.
Every time. No, that's love, man. It don't get no realer than that, man. And then I think that, you being from Fort Worth and everything, you make us proud, man. You know what I mean? And I know it's not easy. I always wonder about, a lot of us talk about, the difference in generations and dealing with the kids now. I always want to ask, like, do you have any difficulties, or have you been doing it long enough to where you've already made all the adjustments and you kind of know what to expect? Because I know there's a difference between them and how they're growing up and how they look at things and how they go about things than how it was when we were growing up. So obviously you figured out some type of a really good way of handling that. But what would you say about that?
I think the best coaches and the best people can deal with all generations of people. And I consider myself a people person. And what I like to do is always understand that I'm not always right. And it's not a right or wrong answer. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different way to do it. You know what I'm saying? C-Con may feel, hey, this the way to do this. And I might feel this is the way to do it. You ain't right. I'm not right. You're not wrong. I'm not wrong. It's just a different route.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll be the first one to tell the kids. They be like, Coach, and girls gonna let you know when you mess up. I misspeak, they own it. But Coach, you said it. And you right, my bad. So I'm one of the people, if I'm wrong, I'm humble enough to understand that I'm not always right, and I can learn from the kids. Because one example was coming from the boys' side on the way to the game. I mean, I'm pretty sure you did this in football. Like, it's stone cold quiet. Coaches don't want you to talk. Mm-hmm. And the first couple games, the girls, man, it's like a concert back there. And I'm like, man, we not focused. We finna get our butt kicked. And I kind of was like, hey, man, y'all need to calm down. And they came out flat. So one of the kids was like, Coach, you got to let us turn up. And I was like, man. She was like, no, trust me. That's how we get going. Next thing I know, I said, all right. So what I started doing was, for my piece, because I be needing to focus, I bought me some of those little beats, put them in, and man, they be on that bus, full-blown concert. I don't know what they be saying because I probably be listening to some inspirational stuff,
Yeah.
or a podcast or something, or listening to I listen to some soul, some jazz, some R&B, some Gap Band or something.
Yeah.
And I be in my mode, and while they back there singing whatever they singing or whatever, respectfully, but it worked, and I had to adjust. Like I think the most successful people in life can take change and pivot and adapt.
Yes, sir.
No matter what the situation is. And
Absolutely.
I had to learn that early in life growing up in Fort Worth. And I think Fort Worth made me who I am today. And a lot of times God will give you a vision, but he don't give you the path. You got to go through it. Because if he gave me the path and he said, man, you're going to go through this at 9, this going to happen to you at 13, this going to happen to you at 15, and at 21, this going to happen. I'll be like, no, I don't want that to happen to me at 15. But you got to go through it in order to get to the ultimate vision.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So man, I just be going through life when I got a vision or God put it on me. I'm not worried about the path, where it's good, the bad. If he say I got to go through it, I got to go through it, because I tell any people anytime, man, when you come out of a fire or you go through a storm, you're going to come out a different person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Man, that's beautiful, man, and it's very real, man. That's some news we can all use, for real. What would you say is the biggest adjustment that you had to make as far as you go from coaching boys, now you're coaching girls? What would you say is the biggest adjustment that you had to make, the biggest difference?
The biggest difference, I would say, probably just at the speed. They not as strong, not as big, because I was coaching 6'9", 6'8". Some of these dudes in the NBA, some of them about to get drafted, to coaching girls, and they are just as fast, just as athletic, but they not dunking.
Yeah.
So it's the speed of the game. It was a lot slower for me because I had been coaching boys at a high level, so the game was slower, so I could see stuff. And then, man, girls are more emotional, to the standpoint of, like, man, girls got to feel good. With boys, it's just like, this the mission. You toe the line, soldier.
Mm-hmm.
But girls, if they don't rock with you, it's not going down, bro. Like, yeah. So I had to have that fine balance of, hey, this the mission. We got to toe the line. But I also had to let them know that, man, coach got nothing but love for y'all, and I'm here for y'all no matter what. And then I had to go from the way I talk to the kids. So
it was more rough.
With the boys, it was, you know what I'm saying, more in your face. So with the girls, I had to know who I can get on like that, and other people I had to pull to the side and say, hey, this is what it is. And sometimes the girls are like, well, you don't do such and such like that. And I tell people all the time, when you got kids, you don't discipline all your kids the same. Mm-hmm. The way I did my son, I didn't do my daughter. And where I did them oldest two, I don't do that baby boy. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a different time, it's a different situation, and everybody got different personalities. So it's called differentiated learning. So differentiated discipline is a thing too.
Mm-hmm. That's real. That's real, man. Nah, that's so real. What do you think is the reason why Fort Worth schools aren't having so much success? We've seen so many great athletes come out of Fort Worth. What's keeping Fort Worth schools from having that same type of success?
I feel like in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, a lot of the middle class, lower middle class, upper middle class people, such as the parents that be doing as well as you and I, still lived in the city. You know what I'm saying? And they would go to Dunbar, Eastern Hills, ODY, Fort Worth, Poly, Southwest, or whatever the case. Now, I believe a lot of us have moved to the outskirts, so that also plays an effect. And then I think Fort Worth, those bigger school districts, but have to figure out a way how to keep the kids and be able to put some emphasis on the sports. I think Dallas ISD does a good job with SOC, for example. Man, I don't think it'll never be another SOC anywhere else, because what Coach Todd and Dallas ISD has built over there, man, it's something that's a gem, because that doesn't happen in big multiple school districts like that. Like you're not seeing anybody from Houston ISD put somebody in state 2 years in a row out they one of their public high schools, or San Antonio ISD doing that, or Fort Worth ISD. So it's just one of those things where the people who run it forward got to understand, like, hey, athletics is as important as well. And I don't think they don't, but they probably sometimes, man, if you don't know, you got to go ask. I'll be over there in Dallas. Like, hey, man, how y'all get socked like this? I'm trying to get Dunbar wide or Hills or somebody like that. And then I think it's the mindset of the parents. You know what I'm saying? Somebody reposted something that I put like 7 years ago when I went to a game, and I asked, and I forgot all about this, and I asked one of the coaches, "Hey man, where your player at?" And he was like, "Well, his mama made him stay at home. He had to miss the game because he had to watch his little brother and sister." And I don't know the circumstances and situations behind that, but what I do call is BS, because at the end of the day, that's not their kid.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you're going to traumatize your kid from him being able to play in something that he loved, that can help him get out child situation, to watch your kid that he had no part of creating.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's
and
unfair.
then the mindset got to be, it's accountability. It's everybody's fault but the kid. So it's the coach's fault, it's the school fault. But what are you doing to get your kid to the next level? You saw me with my son, but when you would see us come to the Mustangs, Pee Wee football or Longhorns, basketball, whatever we was doing, man, we done trained that morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. He done went in practice, a middle school practice. Then he coming to the Pee Wee football practice after that practice. That's his third workout of the day.
Putting in that work.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if a parent is thinking that you finna send your baby to this coach and who got him during the season 2 hours a day, 4 or 5 days out the week, in the off season you only get an hour during the athletic period, man, that ain't where it went. Man, being honest with you, and people thought I was crazy. They used to sit there and say, man, he crazy. He got his son doing all that. But I knew what it take to be a college athlete. It's only 3% of the high school kids get to do it. So you got to be special, especially if you don't have a kid that's 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah.
My son's 6'1". So I knew I told him, if you're going to go play basketball, bro, you got to decide. And I'm going to let you make this choice. Either I'm going to do school and basketball, or I'm going to be doing school and family and hang out and friends. We chose the basketball route. So, bro, every morning from the time he was probably 7th grade, 6 in the morning, we might be in there 8 o'clock at night. When he got to high school, it turned up even more. He would practice 300 shots in the morning before school. He going to go to practice. Then, because I live in Fort Worth, we going to take a nap, and I had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We going to hit the peanut butter jelly, do your studying, take a nap. Then we going to come back and train 7:30, 8 o'clock that night, get home by 9 or 10, go to sleep, do it again.
Right.
So for the parents in Fort Worth, oh no, I got something to do. But I see parents all throughout those suburbs, Duncanville, DeSoto, Cedar Hill, Arlington, Grand Prairie, Lancaster, they're putting way more into sacrificing. Oh, I'm going to get up and take my baby to LA Fitness, a 24-hour fitness in the morning at 6. And then afterwards, I'm going to pay for him a trainer. I'm going to pay for him a trainer. So I tell people all the time, like, we got people that specialize in certain stuff. Everybody can't teach your kid, man.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you want your baby to cut their grass, but you mad because it's not edged up and it's not growing. That ain't his lane.
Yeah.
They got people that make money, that specialize, that do research and whatever they got to do to be lawn care people. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't cut my hair. You got to go to school to cut my hair.
I got you. But I do think another thing with that is that it seems like a lot of people have kind of moved out of Fort Worth. A lot of people don't really, a lot of people are kind of on the outskirts.
Right.
Like, for example, in Crowley, a lot of people on the southwest side now. North Crowley got a zillion kids over there. So I think that's kind of a factor too. Like, when you ride through some of the neighborhoods that we grew up in, that we knew as all black neighborhoods, they ain't all black no more.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then a lot of the really good athletes that we are producing, they are going to other schools.
Right.
They're Fort Worth kids, but they're ending up at Aledo or at North Crowley or at Duncanville or other places. So I think that's kind of a thing too. A lot of the kids, the talent that we are having come out of Fort Worth is ending up in a lot of other places.
So then also,
For a good reason.
I tried to get a job in Fort Worth. They didn't hire me. I went to Duncanville because that's the only people that hired me. So Fort Worth has showed whenever there's a coach that they believe in, they're going to get behind. Melvin Miller, DeMarcus James, when he was at ODY before he left, you know what I'm saying? Coach Hughes, when he was at Dunbar, Coach Ivory when he went to Tech, whenever there is somebody who they can believe in and get behind, they do.
Hey, man, I say this. You're building a hell of a resume. If the time ever comes, if the time ever does come and that's something that you want to do, I'm 100% sure, the opportunity will eventually be there. You're doing the work, you're paying your dues, you're getting the results. So, there's really no good reason why eventually I'm sure you'll get that opportunity. On another note, man, so we had, Duncanville 4x1 break ODY's record this past week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, we all Fort Worth guys.
Right.
We know ODY, we know Mario, Milton, Monty, Mike, and all them. I don't know how everybody else felt about it, but me personally, man, I wanted to see that stand because those are my buddies.
Right.
We saw that happen when it happened. We're extremely proud of them, and it's been 25, 26 years. So Coach Brookins,
yeah,
also from Fort Worth.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to him. And so I guess there was always some type of motivation that he had, wanting to break the record. And Duncanville broke the record. Man, how do you feel about that? And I mean, what's the energy out there right now?
Man, shout out to those gentlemen from ODY and the late great Coach Williams. Probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, track coach in the history of Texas sports or in the country. So,
absolutely,
man, shout out to Milton, Mike, Monty. And Mario, that's my boy. I talked to Mario more than I talked to all them because my baby run track for Hallmark and he's a coach out there. So I done spent the summer with Mario talking to him. Man, I think from a standpoint, it get misconstrued because when somebody does something great, you chasing greatness. And for those guys to run that in 98, probably practice on clay track, dirt track.
Did.
The level of education behind track and the science of the body and the movement wasn't what it is today. The level of coaching throughout probably wasn't as knowledgeable as it is today. And for it to last that long, it let you know them dudes is unicorns.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you put them in this right now where everybody specializes and you got a speed coach, or when you go run track, you running for Mario Wesley. That's one of the reasons, or the Brazil twins, or Brunchet, or Coach Brookins when he coached. So we didn't have that level of coaching because it wasn't guys who ran Division I track or played Division I football coming back coaching us.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So for them to be able to do that, man, that's special in itself. And for it to last that long, they tell you how special that track team was or that relay team was. So I want to put that out there first. As far as Coach Brookins, man, he one of the smartest guys I know when it comes to that because he always trying to get better at what he's doing. And I think with track, and I told you this before, it's not subjective, it's objective. The times are the times.
It is, straight up.
So when he would probably say that, he would probably look at, all right, it's on mile split. This is what such and such ran. This is what such and such ran. This was such and such ran. Well, I know these dudes at this school or my school run this, and this. Theoretically, if they get that stick around, they should beat the time.
Which ain't always easy to do.
And then Mario was saying, they got to get the stick around. They got to do it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Which he was right.
Yeah.
So I think what he was saying is he would be saying like, man, based on the times, my dudes should beat that time.
I get it.
And it's a way to say everything. If he'd articulated it and came at it the way I just did, people wouldn't feel that type of way. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, that was a golden era in run and sprinting for work. And anytime people would talk track, and no matter where I go, ODY got the record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With the fastest people out of Fort Worth. I always said that with pride.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? I still think that my baby run track for Hallmark and for Mario and the Brazil twins, and they was special as well.
Absolutely.
And I tell people all the time, if the people who actually supposed to go to ODY, it might have been a 38. You know what I'm saying? Way back then, if Omar Johnson would have went to wide. If the Brazil twins would have went to wide.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
Yeah. Coach
would have been able to put 2 relays to go 39. Probably.
Hell, man.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things, but I felt like the way it went about it, it could. And I told Coach everything I'm saying now. I done talked to Brookins. That's my dog. Love him to death. He could have went about it differently as far as how he presented it. And then we kind of told him like, hey man, like once you win it, you know what I'm saying? You can't break the record and then lose.
Yeah, that's
probably
crazy,
what,
man.
And that's what Mario and them was saying. Like, you ain't got the record.
Yeah.
You was just trying to beat us, and that wasn't his case. He's one of those guys. I don't understand track. He was like, Coach, we just trying to run our best, and if we run our best ain't good enough, and we PR, we did what we supposed to do. I don't understand that as a track. I play a team sport.
You want to win.
I just if I don't win first, it don't mean nothing to me.
I mean, it's a win. And a loss, you know. But I do want to say, you know, congratulations to Duncanville 4x1. Also, congratulations to Coach Brookins. Man, we salute you. You know, I know, you know, there was a little back and forth about it, but end of the day, man, it's definitely about these kids. You're obviously doing a great job, and so, man, we're proud of you. Now, you still got a few meets to go, man. You don't have to see what you can do about Atascocita, man. Get them boys up out for you. You know what I mean? Because that's a thing now. You know, y'all did break ODY's record, but hey, man, you don't have to see what y'all can do about them boys. But aside from all of that, man, definitely congratulations to you. Congratulations to the team. Exceptional athletes, obviously, man. Of course, like I said before, we wish all of y'all the most possible success, man, into your future in college and everywhere else that you may go. So we didn't want that to turn into a negative thing. We all know in sports, guys talk trash and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, man, it's all love and it's really about the kids. You know, sports is just sports, man. We got to keep things in perspective. So again, man, I want to end that part of it by saying, man, congratulations to Coach Brookins and the Duncanville Panthers track 4x1.
And I want to say, man, I got love for all those brothers. So to see our own from Fort Worth and going at each other like that was disheartening for me.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, man, we can agree to disagree and just keep it professional. Because at the end of the day, man, it should be about the kids, like you said, man. But man, time heals all wounds.
Yes, sir.
And he got on there, and I think that was big in him to get on there and say, hey, man, you know what? I was wrong.
I saw that.
You know what I'm saying? Because when he a buddy of mine, so see, if I feel like you wrong, dog, I'm going to hit you and say, hey, bro, like, nah.
And we should be able to do that.
And we got to be, and you got to be like, hey, Ford, man, look at bro, like this, whoop, or whatnot. And he took with me, with what I said, and a couple other dudes that we talked to him, and man, it took a lot for him to do that because he a prideful, and he went and did it. So I think, man, that was the first step of repairing those relationships, man. And we just got to get them dudes, man. Let a little time pass, and man, get them dudes together to talk and make sure it's good because he is great at what he do. They great at what they do, man. I think we all got to stick together. Even though I ain't in Fort Worth, man, it's always love. I'm always rooting for everything Fort Worth. My baby still go to school in Fort Worth. I still live in Fort Worth. We run track for Hallmark. We play football for Hallmark. And I done played with TNS and all that. So, man, it's always love for the city.
Right on, man. That's the bottom line to it, man. But, man, I just want to thank you for coming on today. Is there anything that you would like to add?
Oh, man, I appreciate you having me, dog. Like, I only did this like my third one. I did a couple other ones. A guy from Fort Worth, then a gentleman from Houston. Man, but everybody else been hit me, but I had to make sure I come show love.
Right on.
Man, you always been a solid guy with me and everything. I always been 100, and you gonna shoot it straight, man. So I gotta support mine. Right
on. The feeling is definitely mutual, man. So again, man,
Appreciate
Coach Ford, Duncanville Pantherettes, state champions. Congratulations, man. Again, salute to you. Salute to those kids. Continued success to you all. Man, and again, man, we're proud of you. We want you to know that. Keep going, man. Right on. Today's episode of King Talk is brought to you by One of 100, exclusive clientele, custom apparel.